Hi everybody, I've been promising this video for a little while now, and I'm gonna come through on my end and make sure you guys get the information you need today. When I started working with Canvas, my Canvas looked like this. When I would log into my course, I would get a page that looks like this, and I wouldn't know what to do with that page. So I taught myself what I needed to know and did a lot of research with various Facebook groups and with the Canvas help section. And also I talked to some people I knew and used some background knowledge I had. But you guys can figure this out. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. The best thing to do is to take it one step at a time. So let's start with how to create a home page. You're going to want to start with some type of graphic design software. There is a free option online, Canva. They have a free teacher account. I do recommend actually getting the teacher account because it unlocks a bunch of different images that you wouldn't get otherwise. And you can search by theme. So like if I wanted a pirate classroom, I could search by pirate, and all these pirate birthday party things come up, and I could use this information and these options to create a pirate themed website inside Canvas. So it's really helpful. There are some things you're going to need to know when designing your course in Canva. One of them is that sizes matter. So if I'm making banners like these for basic information, like this one says important information, and click below to get started, and click to view this week's assignment. Basically small text I want to run all the way across my page. A good size for that would be 750 by 100 pixels. Okay, so when you make this, you can make one of them, like here, add an additional copy of that by just copying the page, and then you can just edit that text and make it whatever you want. So important information quickly becomes click below to get started, right? So that's always very helpful. Once you create these things, you can download them as PNG files. So I'm going to just delete that because I'm going to download these as PNG files. If I come up here to the right to download, I'm going to choose download here and PNG. And I want to compress these files a little bit and have them a little bit lower quality just so it doesn't take so long for them to load on my screen in Canvas. And I'm going to download that. When I do, it's likely going to go to my download folder as a zip file. After I download all the stuff I want to download from Canva in just a minute, I'm going to go over to these zip files, extract the files, and put all of this in one big file that I'm going to take over to Canvas. So I'm going to continue editing because I want to use some other stuff. Another thing that I made was buttons, little circle buttons. Now the size of this screen is 200 by 200, and this is basically kind of like a logo type thing. So if you wanted to use the logo as your starting point as a template in Canva, you could use that. They have lots of circle options. Like you could actually type in circle, right, like so, and it would pop up, and you could use one of these circles to create your own buttons. Okay. The next thing you're going to want to create is a copy of a banner. So this is going to be like the header on my main homepage, and this is going to be the header on my homepage of my other courses as I go through. So I'm going to use that quite a bit. So I want to make sure that I have it the right size also. 1000 by 400 pixels seems to work really well for that, and I can change that by this resize here. Okay, I'm just going to download all of these files again, like I said earlier, to that zip file in my download folder. Once again, PNG, compress file, and download. After I download all the PNG files from Canva, I'm going to want to go and extract those files from the zip file folders that are downloaded in, basically put them all in one file. So I'm going to go and open my downloads file. Here's the one that came from Canva, copy of Monday. These are all names from Canva that I just did. For each of the files, I'm going to go to the zip file, open it, and click Extract Files and extract, or extract all extract files. When I do that, and I go back over to downloads, there's going to be a new folder with the same name, but it's not going to be zipped anymore. It's going to have the extracted files. So here are some examples of the extracted files. Now, one thing that you're going to want to do is rename all of these files something that makes sense to you. So, for example, I would rename this file Monday button. And I do that just by clicking rename up here and then typing in the new name. And when I do that, it becomes named Monday button, right? Easy enough. All right. Once I do that for all the files, I'm going to want to combine them into one large file that's easy to move over to Canvas. So I'm going to show you what I combined, okay? So these are my files for Canvas for this course that I'm about to create. Now, I want to go through each one so you kind of know what you're going to need when you go to create that course that you want to create. I have a welcome banner for the class. I have smaller banners by subject area, so ELA, science, reading, math, social studies. I have some days of the week buttons, which I'm not really planning on using, but some people like to use them, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I have subject area buttons, so reading, ELA, science, social studies, math. And I have these smaller banners here. Those are things like click to see your assignments, or return to home page, things like that. You want it to span kind of across the entire screen, but you don't want it to be as overwhelming as, say, one of the larger headers. So that's basically what we're working with going into Canvas. So the next thing I want to do is open up Canvas. Okay, so when you open up Canvas, you come up to a dashboard, right? Here's my dashboard. The first thing I'm going to want to do with that dashboard is I'm going to want to go to Account, and I'm going to upload that file I just created. So I'm going to go to Account, Files, and here's some stuff from a previous thing I did, but I'm going to upload the new folder. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a folder in here, and I'm going to call it my new course. Okay, new course. Click the little check mark to actually create the folder, and when I open that up, it's going to basically just let me drop files there to load. So if I pull up what I had before, my file folder from before on my computer, I can click the first one, press shift, and just select all of them, and they will all move together over to my uploads. I just drag them over. Then all of the image files I'm going to use for my course are now in Canvas. So it makes creating much easier, and you're not uploading one file at a time, and they're kind of all in one place, so you know where to look for them. They're all going to be in that folder I called New Course. So that would be my recommended way of uploading the files you're going to use. Once your files are uploaded in the folder, you're just going to go back to your dashboard. Now, once you get to dashboard, what you want to do is you want to pick the course that you want to be your primary course. If you are a 4th grade teacher and you teach language arts and you teach science and social studies and reading and all of those things, but you want them to have basically one course front for the students, you're going to want to decide what course you want that to be in. It's important not to combine all your courses, because you do want to keep your grade books separate and your content separate, mainly because later on, next year, you may want to reuse this stuff. But next year, if you put it all in one course and you get a new math text, then you're going to have to go through and weed out all that math stuff. If you do it the way I'm going to show you, you can keep everything divided by subject area. So later on, it's a piece of cake when your school adopts new text, etc., to just create one course component to add back in versus having to go through the whole course and make changes. But I'm going to start with that homeroom course. Okay, I'm going to choose it and open it up. Once I do this, I want to create a home page. To create a home page, I will go to Pages on this left-hand side. Now that I'm here, I want to add a page. So I'm going to choose Add a Page. And this is going to be my home page. So I'm going to give it a title that lets me know it's going to be my home page. I'm going to call it Miss Melton's 4th grade. That'll make it easy for me to know what the page is when I go and look at all my pages in a list later. But the first thing I want to do on this home page is add that header in. So I'm going to embed the image, which is the little picture choice there. And to embed the image, I'm going to go to Canvas on the image source and My Files. And underneath My Files is that file folder we just uploaded, New Course. Okay, so I click New Course. And I'm going to scroll down until I find the name of the banner I want, which is Welcome to Miss Melton's Class. And I'm going to check out all of these attributes underneath. So alt text is going to be what the screen reader would read if the student used a screen reader. So I want to make sure that this accurately portrays the wording. If it was just a decorative image, I could click here and it would comment it out. But since it's not a decorative image, I want the content to come across. I need to make sure that the content is also typed in alt text. So Welcome to Mrs. Melton's Class will be there. And I want to just glance down at my dimension sizes going in so I have an idea of what they are. And I'm going to click Update. When I do, it's going to add that file to my course. Now, if I select that file by just clicking on it, I can center it, which is always a good idea. Something else that you may end up doing later is making sure that your dimensions basically shrink and enlarge with the window. You want them to fit the window. So one way to do that is at this point to go to your HTML editor right here. And when you look in your HTML editor, I know it looks like a foreign language, but usually at some point you'll see the name, that alt text name, Welcome to Mrs. Melton's Class, and afterwards it'll say width. And after width, you can always type in 100%. With the pixel sizes I gave you to work with, 100% will give you a really good size home page. If you basically mark everything as pretty much 100% in that HTML editor. So we're going to click Save on that. And all I did there was change the width to 100%. Now this is what it would look like, just inserting that one image. Now, of course, I want my homepage to be much more decorative than this and much more functional, so I'm going to add some other features. So I'm going to go back and click Edit, and I'm going to add some informational text. So if I click past that, that image I just put in and click Enter, it'll drop down just like you would go to the next line of text. And I'm going to find another image, so I'm going to embed image and Canvas and My Files again and New Course. And in New Course, I'm going to find the banner I want, which is going to be the one that says that you're going to click below to see what you want to see. So I believe that is banner 2. I should have labeled those a little bit better. We're going to update it and see real quick. Yes, click below to get started. Now, I kind of did this purposefully because I wanted you guys to see that if I didn't know what it said, like click below to get started, I could go back and I can change that after the fact. So if I click on this image again and then click on embed image up here, I can go back and I can change this to what I want it to say, which is an alt text. So I'm going to change this to click below to get started, because the screen reader really is important for a lot of our learners. So we want to make sure that we are including that alt text whenever possible. So we're going to click Update. And once we do that, we now have directions underneath. So what are we clicking below to get started? That's where we're going to put our buttons. And I'd like to set this up so that I'm I'm clicking below and clicking on to subject areas. So I'm going to add a table, which is this button up here. Okay, you see that, the table? It basically works like adding a table in Word. Okay, so I just hover over table, I come over here. I want my table to be 3 wide, and I'm going to do 2 rows. Okay, so I have 3 columns and 2 rows. And when I create that, it's going to give me these black lined bordered boxes here. Okay, I'm going to show you how to get rid of those lines after we add in what we want to add. But first thing we want to do is add in everything we want to add. So wherever your little blinking cursor is where you're going to add something in. Okay, so I'm going to click in the first box, top left, and I'm going to embed another image. And I'm going to go to Canvas, like before, My Files, New Course, and I'm going to choose ELA first. Okay, ELA is a good choice for me. And once again, I'm going to remove that extra information I don't need off alt text to make sure it just says what my button says. And I'm going to click Update. Okay, so now my button's added for ELA. I'm going to come underneath it. I'm going to add another button. So I'm going to go to Embed Image. I'm going to go to Canvas, My Files. I'm going to find that next button I want, which I'll put Science next. Need to do alt text again, and I'm going to update it. Notice that my dimensions are the same on these, 500 by 500. If they're not the same, you do want them to be the same, so now would be the time to change them. Okay, they do all need to be the same to really give you the look you want. Okay, I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to add another embed image. Canvas, My Files, and New Course. And this time I'm going to add the one that says Reading. I'm going to keep doing that till my whole table is full. I only have 5 areas, but I wanted to do something cute here, so I'm just going to add a little Bitmoji image of the teacher. I added that to the New Course Files earlier. Find the little confetti Bitmoji image of Miss Milton here and put her up. Isn't she cute? Okay, now I need to do a little bit of formatting work so that my screen doesn't look crazy. So I'm going to save this though, because if I mess up formatting along the way, I want to come back here. Now that all these files are in here, I don't want to lose them if I mess up. So I'm going to click Save. And this is the unformatted homepage. So now I'm going to click Edit so I can go back in and do a little formatting work. One of the issues is I need to get rid of this set of lines around the table, and I need to make sure all these things are centered. So I can go and click on each of these pictures and then click Center up here at the top, just like I would in a Word document. That's really going to help the look of my page. Another thing I'm going to want to do is select all of these cells in the table and make some minor changes to the properties. So after they're selected, if I go up here to Table and I go to Table Properties, the first thing I'm going to want to do is look at the alignment. And I want that table to be center. Okay, and I want the width to be 100%. That's really important. And then I'm going to click over to Advanced, and I'm going to remove that border from the table. Under Border Style, if I choose Hidden, that black line around the table will go away. So I'm going to click OK, and the black line would disappear. While I still have it selected, though, I'm going to go ahead and format my cells. So if I go to Table, and I go to Cell and Cell Properties, then I'm going to do a lot of the same things. I'm going to look at the horizontal alignment, and I'm going to go center. I'm going to look at the vertical alignment for all the things in the table, and I'm going to go middle. And then I'm going to go over to Advanced, and I'm going to select a border style as hidden so that those black lines will disappear, and click OK. Now, when I save it this time, my screen's going to look a little different, but I still want to come back in and do some sizing changes in a minute. But I'm going to save it to show you guys what this looks like now. See, we're getting there. All right, so I'm going to go back and edit one more time. I know you guys are ready to move on to the next thing. So when I highlight click below to get started, it doesn't matter how much I size it, etc. It's still not going to link the whole size of the page unless I go into the HTML editor. Again, so I'm going to go into HTML editor, and now it really looks like a foreign language for most of us. So what I like to do is I like to use Control F. Control F is the find feature on pretty much anything. So when I click Control F, I get something up like this little window over to the side for find, and I can type in width. Okay. Anywhere I see width will be highlighted, and anywhere I see width, I want to change that number after width to 100%. I want to do that all the way down my paper, except for after TD style right here where it says 33.333%. I want to leave that because that's going to be my table style that lets me have those 3 images because it'll add up to 100%. But remember, I told you that alt text will be your key for letting you know what you want to change. So the alt text right here is ELA, so I know that's my ELA button, so I want that width to be 100%. And alt text right here, alt reading, I want that width to be 100%. And for math right here, I want that width to be 100%. And I'm going to show you why this is important in a few minutes. But you want to keep going down and look where width is highlighted and see if it says alt and a button name. And if it does, you want to change that to 100%. You know, all the way down the page. That's gonna it's gonna make sure that as you resize your window, everything in that window sort of resizes to fit the screen well. Okay, so after I do that, I'm gonna click Save. And see, now it goes all the way across the screen. Everything goes all the way across the screen. If I make my window smaller, it resizes with my window, see? So no matter what device you're on or whatever, you're not going to have any weird sizing because those 100% let it match your window. So that's the basics for the home page. Okay, in that primary course you're going to use to link out of. We are going to come back into the primary course and make other changes later, but now we're going to move on to that secondary course, or one of the secondary courses that we want to link to this specific course. Before we move out of here though, we want to make this home page our home page. So when we click home, it'll take us back to this home page. I'm going to want to publish it first up here at the top where it says publish. This symbol right here means that it's not published. I want it to change green. So it is published. And then I want to go to view all pages. Okay. Notice that the name of this is Miss Milton's 4th grade. Okay. So when I go to home, right, I want to choose that home page. I go up here to home. I want to choose my home page. Okay. Right now, you'll see it says course modules, assignment list, syllabus, course activity stream. Because I haven't labeled a page as a front page, I can't choose a page, right, to be that home screen. So in pages, find that one that I have there, and I want that page to now be used as a front page. Now I can't label it as a front page until I published it, but once I publish it, I can determine that I want to use it as the front page. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose use as front page. Now when I go back to home, can choose that home page and make it that Miss Melton's 4th grade there, see? And click Save. Okay, so now this is the home page for that course. All right, so let's go to a secondary course linked out to, so ELA, reading, math, science, social studies. The best thing to do next would be to create that secondary course the way I want it to be. So I'm going to go back to courses, and I'm going to choose math. That's the course we're going to learn how to link, okay? So I'm going to choose math, grade 4, Ms. Melton. And when I do, I get that blank screen again. Okay, brand new course, brand new thought process. So if you'll remember, we started off by creating a page. So that's what we're going to do again. We're going to go to Pages. And we are going to add a new page. Okay, then I want to add that image in. So I'm going to go to Embed Image. And I'm going to go to Canvas. I'm going to go to My Files. New course, and this time I'm going to choose math because that's the course I have right here. So I'm looking for the math banner. There's the math banner, and I'm going to erase .png so that my alt text is correct. I'm going to take a look at everything and click Update, and there it is. I'm going to make sure I click on it and make it center, and then click after it and press Enter because I'm also going to want some directions there. So I'm going to embed another image. Go to Canvas, My Files, and I'm going to look for that new course again, and I want to find a banner name that works well with that. So the banner that I want to add with that is going to be the banner that gives me directions for how to get to my assignments. Okay, I'm going to change that banner name in just a minute. I'm going to show you how to go back and do that. So I'm going to update. And it says click to view this week's assignments. Remember, if you ever need to add that wording after, just click on it and go back to Embed Image. And I'm going to type in click to view this week's assignments. And alt text there. And I'm going to update. Now I want that to be centered also. And now's a good time to go to into that HTML editor and make everything 100%. So wherever I see width, remember Control F or find will help me do that because it'll highlight where it says width. So when I type it in find and press enter, it shows me by highlighting it, and then I can just click and change those numbers to 100%. And when I save it, they're going to be full screen like before. Now, the next thing I'm going to want to do is create modules for the days of the week within each subject area. So for math, I'm going to want to create the modules for the days of the week. So I do that by clicking on modules, and I'm going to add a module. Now, modules where your assignments are going to go. The first day of our school year is August 24th, so we're going to put Monday, August 24th is the name of our module. And I like to lock my modules until they're going to open up, so lock until. And I'm going to go to August 24th, and now this won't open up until the morning of August 24th, and I'm going to add that module in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add 5 modules real quick that whole week. So that you'll get a real understanding of what I want to add there, as far as what it'll look like for students, what it'll look like for you as time goes on. One of the things that you need to know is that students can only see published modules. Because of that, you can pick which ones they see at a time, so you can only put like 5 on the page if you want to, or you can put 10 on the page, however you want to set up your courses. That works best for you, but I like to do like a Monday through Friday thing for each subject area, and just relink everything on Fridays, or republish everything on Fridays. So we're going to do Friday, August 28th. And lock it until August 28th. Okay, so I'm also going to add one more so that you see the difference between a published and an unpublished. So I'm just going to add October 2nd or 22nd, and I'm going to lock that until October 22nd, and we'll come back and look at that in a minute. But I'm going to publish all of the August dates for now. Okay, I do that by clicking on these little no signs and making them little green dot check marks, meaning published. Okay, I'm not going to publish October 22nd for now. Okay, so that's my module setup. Now, once you're in a module, you can basically add whatever you want to it. When you click the little add button up there, you can add your assignments, you can add a quiz, a file, a page, a discussion, a text header. So you can explore how to do all that when you're working on content. But for now, we're just going to say we're linking to modules for everybody's sake, okay? All right, now I want to go back to my pages. And like before, I want to publish this page that says 4th grade. And I want to make it my front page. So the 3 dots, use this front page. So now when I click home, and I choose my home page, I can choose 4th grade math. Click save. Okay. So now this is my home page in my math course. If you see, it says Math Grade 4 up top here. This is important because that's the name of your course. And we're going to go back and forth between courses, and I'm going to show you how to know where you are. Okay? So we're going to edit this page so that our links start to work. Okay? So we're going to click Edit. And we're going to click to view this week's assignments. When we click on that image, we can add the modules directly to that image. I like to add the whole navigation over to modules. So I click Course Navigation, and I choose Modules. Okay. When I save it, it links me. So if I go to click to view this week's assignments, it's going to take me to those module pages I just created. Okay. And this is all in that secondary course. It's not in that homeroom course. We're going to go back to that in a minute. Okay. In this secondary course, I'm going to click back on home so you know what I'm talking about. But I want to change some settings in here because I don't want people to access all of this stuff from outside this course. The only thing I want them to access in this course is through the modules. I want to direct them to click to view this week's assignments and go to the modules. So, or if they click home here, they'll go back to this home screen. So my process here would be to go to settings. Okay, so I want to make some important changes to settings. I want to leave home and modules up, but everything else right now I want to move down because I don't want my kids to see all of this. Really the only thing I want them to see regularly right now, and I can always go back and change this, like what they have access to on this left side, but the only thing I really want them to see in the secondary course right now is home and modules. It's less confusing for a lot of the kids just to see home and modules. I try to limit how many sidebar options they have just to make it less confusing for them. Okay, so I'm going to click Save. So I just have home and modules, and when I go back to home, I'm going to look at student view and kind of give you an idea of what they would see as far as options on the left-hand side. So student view. Now, see, they only have home and modules. So when they're here at math, they can click to view this week's assignments, and it links them to modules. And here's where your assignments would be. Remember, you're opening them by day, so this one's going to unlock on the 24th, but this one's not going to unlock till the 25th, so they can't work ahead the way we have this set up, which is kind of nice. And you could do this for each subject area, so you could do this for your language arts classes, secondary class, and so on. But that gives you a good idea. Notice that October 22nd date's not here because it's not published. If it's not published, it's hidden, so I can put as many up here or as few up here as I want based on what I want published to the kids. Okay? I'm going to leave Student View now and go back and show you what most of you have wanted to know, which is how to link this course to my original course. Okay, now it's time to show you how to link this secondary course back over to the primary course. So before I leave this home page for math, I want to copy this URL at the top of the page. So I'm just going to highlight it and right click and choose copy. Okay. Now that I have that URL, I'm going to go back to my courses and I'm going to go to that primary course, which was Study Hall for Miss Melton here. Okay. Now from her home page, I want to click edit and I want to come down here and find the math button picture. When I click on it, it's going to highlight it. I can add a link to it. The link, the add a link, like a URL link, is up here at the top on the menu bar. As you can see, it says link to URL. So I'm going to choose that. And I'm going to right click and paste that URL that I just pulled from the other course. And I'm going to insert a link. I'm going to click Save. Now Miss Melton's 4th grade, when I click on Math, it takes me to my math course. And when I click to view this week's assignments for math, I see the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday modules. Now, something that happened in between is you'll see my modules, when I created them, didn't get created in order. Know that that's an easy fix. Don't delete anything. You can just drag Thursday up and move it in front of Friday. Piece of cake, right? You don't even have to save for that to work. So one question that everybody always has is, well, it doesn't work for me in Student View to link back out to that other course. And I kind of want to explain why. So I'm going to go back to Study Hall, excuse me, and I'm going to choose Student View. And I want you to think about how other things work in Student View. Student View is only showing my Student View for someone that has access to this primary course. None of my other courses are linked to that student in any way. The only people that can access your courses are the people enrolled in your courses. The same issue comes up when you link Google Slides into Canvas. When you link Google Slides into Canvas, unless your kids are logged into Google Classroom, they can't see those Google Slides, and unless they have permission to see them. So a lot of people get the same error that you're about to get. When you click on Math and Student View now, it's going to give you an access denied. If you had a real student that was enrolled in all of your courses, it wouldn't work that way because their access wouldn't be denied. They would have full access. As you saw when I clicked Leave Student View and went back to My View to someone who has full access, it went straight over to Math like it should have. So don't be concerned about access denied. Your real students in all of your classes won't have that issue. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. I'm sure I left out plenty of things that you guys will have questions about. If you'll post your questions for me, I'll be happy to come back and answer some of those. I'm just not really sure what I left out until you guys let me know. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all are able to create a successful course that you enjoy using this year.